With sum, we can sum up some values. What's the output? The output is a sum. The input is a range of cells. When it comes to average, we use this function to find an average of values. The output is an average, and the input is again a range of cells. Next we have minimum and maximum. This is also pretty straightforward. We have as input a range of cells, and the minimum we use to find the smallest of all those cells, while the maximum we use to find the largest of all those cells. Then we have a cool function, the now function. Using the now function, we can enter the current date and time. It doesn't need any input. We can change the format of the cell to show either the date or the time or what we prefer. Some more common values are day, month, and year. This has a date value as input, and as output, it's a day. So I'm going to refer to the now value to find out and use the day function to find out what day it is now. So I can use the month function, and I'm going to use value of this cell as the input. We get the 7th month as output. All these values will update as the date progresses. Next we have the if function. The if is a bit more complicated. It has an output of true or an output of false. The input is a test and 2 results. One of the results happens in case the test passes, and the other result happens if the test doesn't pass. So here I'm going to create an if function to see who of this list of students has passed the test. The passing condition is 50%. So I'm going to say if C26 is larger than the passing condition, then the next input is the result if it's true. So if this condition is true, then I'm going to write you passed. And if the condition is false, I'm going to write sorry, please try again. Now let's copy that down. Oops, something goes wrong. What's the problem? Oh, if I click here, I see the blue and the red cells. What happens is that this red input is pulled down as I pull the rest of the function down. I want this one to remain constant, and I want the blue one to move with the rest of the functions. So I'm going to add a $sign. Then when I copy the function, the cell reference won't change. So in other words, I'm fixing the cell reference. This is talking about absolute and relative cell references. We will learn more about absolute and relative cell references in the next lesson. The good thing about doing it like this is I can just change the pass grade here, and automatically the function changes for each of the students. I don't have to copy and paste the function. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about nested functions. A nested function is a function within a function. I've seen that the input of the day function was the output of the now function. I don't have to use 2 different cells. I can use a function within a function directly. So I'm going to type here if cell value is smaller than now, then the deadline has passed. If not, then it's okay. So in other words, I have now as one of the inputs for my if function. We can also use conditional formatting to color the cell red in case the deadline has passed. To learn more about conditional formatting, have a look at my lesson section on controlling inputs. Finally, we have a super useful function called vlookup. I was using this function a lot in my first job, where I was working as a trader. Using vlookup, we can look up a certain value in a table. The output value is a lookup value, which we found from the table. Inputs, we have the search value, which we're looking for. Range, that's the table. The column, which column we're looking in, and whether we want an exact lookup or an approximate lookup. Let's try looking up the oil price on January the 9th. If I try to work like this, it's not going to work because Excel does not recognize this date format. Let's simplify things and add a date in the cell of Let's do the same for the gas price on the 12th of January. I want an exact value, so I'm going to put this to false. And let's check that. Yes, 4.06. Now let's see what happens if I look for 11th of January. Does it still work? Yep. Or if I look for the 10th of January, it still works, yeah. But what if I look at the 13th of January? There's an error. There's no 13th of January in the table. To find out the error, I can use evaluate formula and evaluate the formula step by step. We will learn more about this in one of the next lessons. For now, I'm just going to change this to true because I don't want an exact match. And since I don't want an exact match, I get a result on the 12th of January instead of the 13th of January. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.